Day, we're going to step out of Etowah County, go just down the road to Asheville, and Coach Shepard hadn't been there very long, Coach. Just been a couple of weeks that I saw in the news that Coach Shepard had been hired at Asheville. So if you can make some opening comments and let these guys introduce themselves, we'd appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Like you said, my name is Kirakias Shepard, the new head football coach and athletic director at Ashville High School, and I'll let these guys introduce themselves. Start down there.
I'm Tyler Harris. I'm an outside linebacker and wide receiver. I'm a senior.
My name is Jaden Harris. I'm an athlete, and I've been going into the 11th grade.
I'm Ryan Harris. I play quarterback, and I'm going into my senior year.
And as I understand it, it's not triplets here, all Harrises here.
No, sir. It just happened by coincidence. Two of them are related, if you can't tell.
Coach, as you come into a new program, how difficult is it for you? You know, you've been there, 2 weeks now?
Yes,
Come in 2 weeks. How difficult is it for you to go into this season and put your program into effect there at Asheville?
Well, possibly the most difficult thing is the timetable. Being on the job essentially 3 weeks. I didn't get an off season with a guy, so I wasn't able to set that precedent or that standard or that expectation of attendance during the summer. So the kids don't know me, so I'm trying to coach the kids and get to know the kids at the same time. So that's been one of the most difficult things going forward. But the kids are responding great. These kids want to be coached. And they're allowing me to coach them, and they're soaking it all up. So it's been refreshing for sure.
Coach, when we first talked a few weeks ago, you talked one of the biggest things you want to do is get the numbers out. And I think you said your goal is to get about 20% of the student body out there, which is roughly 15 to 20 more players. How is that process going? Have you been able to get the players out, and are they? Do you have a kind of a good nucleus right now?
So, the nucleus is great. Like, we got a great core, and we just don't have a lot of depth. So, that's my goal going into the first week, maybe week and a half or so. I haven't been around these kids, and I didn't get that off season in the school, so I wasn't able to recruit the kids. There were a lot of kids who said they were going to play, but when the old coach stepped away, they decided not to play. And some of those kids could have helped us. So, my goal is when I get around those kids, give them a chance to know me. Build a relationship with them, and eventually get them out. Right now we sit about 30 on the roster. I would like to have about 60 on the roster. So we got some headway to make up. But I think we can get there.
Coach, even though you've only had the job for about less than a month, how are you? Are you pleased or expected to be condition-wise as far as the shape of the football team, as far as physical condition?
Say that again.
After taking over the job, are the guys are they where you want them to be physically, as far as in shape, condition-wise, or how there's still more work to go there?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of work to go. As far as the running aspect of it, I think they're getting there. They may tell you different, especially after the day. So the running shape, like, we're getting there, but there's football shape. When you put pads on and you're banging into each other, that brings a different aspect. So once we get in the fall camp and we start banging around a little bit, then we'll gradually start building into football shape, and we'll be a little bit better off than where we are.
This is for the players. What have you noticed in, the 3-4 weeks since Coach Shepard's been hired? What's different?
I would say, the attitude and the mentality, it's definitely, raised up a little bit, but it's a good thing. It's better than what it's been.
Yeah, I would definitely say the same thing. There's a lot of things that we got to work on, and the attitude aspect part of it, and, just that kind of stuff.
Since Coach Shepard's gotten here, the intensity has been up, and I know the guys just love being around him, and they love, just being together and, all that fun stuff.
Well, Coach Shepard, I know you just got named coach. Are a lot of the assistants you have are coaches that's been there? Because, the hardest part of your job is to learn your kids versus learning everybody else. So your assistants are going to be a big part of how well y'all do early in the season. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, yes, sir. And I'm fortunate that I inherited a good staff. You know, and as much as it's important for the kids to buy in to what the new coach is wanting to do, because we're so late in the season or so late in the summer, and you know, you really can't hire like you want to hire. It was important that those coaches that are on staff buy into what I'm trying to do as well, and they have. They work hard, and you know, they've bought into what I want to do. And they're getting the kids ready to play. And you know, they created that segue for me to come in and kind of introduce me to the kids. And you know, I kind of observed the first week or so there before I really just hit it hard. I wanted to get to know the kids and know what they could do and know what they couldn't do. So you know, the first week I let them run it the way they've been running it, and I just observed. And I might throw a suggestion in here or there, but I let them do their thing, and I observed the first week or so before I really got in there, and that allowed me. That time was very vital to me in getting to know the kids for sure.
Guys, question to you guys. I know Coach Shepard considers you leaders of this football team, but it has to be tough on you guys because Coach Monroe was there, and just 3 weeks ago you had a coaching change. Talk about that. Talk about how that might have affected the team. Did that bring the team closer together? In the motivation that you have going into this year. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, I know a lot of the guys, when they announced that Coach Monroe was leaving, they were on the fence about wanting to play. But, you know, second Coach Shepard walked in the door, it, you know, flipped a switch in some of these guys' mind, and they're really excited to play this year.
Yeah, like he said, whenever they said that there was going to be a coaching change and Coach Monroe left, a lot of people, like he said earlier, they left. They said they weren't playing, but, you know, the same thing that he said.
Yeah, so when Coach Monroe sat us down and told us he was leaving, there was a bunch of kids the second he walked out of the room, he said, I'm not playing, but since Coach Shepard's been here, we've gotten more kids back.
Coach, until you get the numbers up, do you see a good deal of the roster playing both ways, which is kind of, you see that a lot in 1A and 2A ball, but 4A ball, not so much. How much do you see that playing into at least the early part of the season until you get the numbers up?
Yeah, we're definitely going to have a lot of two-way players, and I would like to have it to where our big guys, or I call them big skill, which is our linemen, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, aren't really having to go both ways. We're just not at that point. So yeah, we're at a point to where we're going to have to go both ways. Everybody on the roster, I told them from day one, everybody's got two positions, and they have to prepare as if they're playing. If they're an offensive lineman, they're preparing for an offensive lineman just as much as they are a defensive lineman, and it won't always be that way, but it's that way right now, and we just have to play the hand that we're dealt. We just have to make the most of it.
Well, Coach, this is something I want to ask you about. When a coach first comes in, sometimes he kind of stretches the rules just a little bit. Now, you've got kids that are on the fence, and then school's fixing to start back. Do you have a timetable where you're going to allow the kids to maybe come out later than you normally would? Because probably after this year, you're not going to give them that opportunity, but being your first year and you're learning the kids, is the door open for some of the kids to come back out?
Yes, sir. That first week of school, which for us will be starting the 7th, I'm going to make it a point to make sure I'm in the hallways, and I teach PE, so I'll see a lot of the kids. I'm going to make it a point to be in the hallways and talk to those kids and try to get those kids to come out. Now, does that mean that they're going to be available for our first game? No, because that would be a discredit to what these guys have been doing all summer long, is if I allow those guys to come in and immediately be available to play. I just don't think it's fair. But, I got to try to get those kids out. And they'll appreciate it week 7, week 8, and week 9, week 10.
Coach, you're talking about week 7, week 8, week 9, week 10, looking at that schedule for Asheville. It's tough. You open up with in-county schools, and 4A Region 6 is tough. I mean, Cherokee County played for a state championship. We know Aniana and Etowah, they're always good. Talk about your schedule and how you stack up against that schedule this year.
Yeah, it's tough. It's the SEC or Region 4, I think. You got 3 teams that are year in and year out. They're in some form or fashion they're playing for it. But my message to the guys is that we're trying to get ourselves better every day, no matter who we're playing or who we're going against. We're approaching with a mindset that if we're not getting better, we're getting worse. And so if we approach with that mindset and take on that mindset, it doesn't matter who we're playing. We're just going to put our best foot forward on Friday night, and hopefully we'll lock the results when the clock strikes 0.
Guys, anybody got anything else for Asheville this afternoon? All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Thanks, guys, for being here. We appreciate it. Good luck to the Bulldogs this year.
Thank you, guys.